Morning, everyone. It's a beautiful spring day in the neighborhood. Hi, Stripey. I'm waiting to come out while the Cybertruck is in its temporary charging location and have one of the cats on top of it. Although with that triangle roof, I guess that makes it pretty hard to just sit up there. I'll be taking off in the Cybertruck in just a little bit. Come on, Morris. Let's go, bud. All right. Well, you come when you're ready, because there's your buddy Stripe. So I'm going to hop in the Cybertruck and show you guys how great it does at turning around and going down the driveway without me doing anything.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive because it's not a small vehicle. I mean, it drives smaller than it is, and so it'll turn itself around here in this driveway, and it knows somehow to go out over there. I have no idea how it knows that that's the way out, but it knows that's the way out. You're gonna get to see the bit
different with the windshield coated this morning.
Yeah, it'll wipe, I'm sure. And if it's fogged up there, it may have to wait. It'll be interesting. You see, it's actually fogged up inside the little, I can't tell what I'm looking at here. Yeah, you can see it. The little camera housing is actually fogged up. You can see the flicker of the light bar. In my eyes, it doesn't flicker, but on the camera, looking at the camera screen, I can see it flickering. All right, well, so it's white now. And look at the rear wheels. That's what you got to watch. As much any so she's not. See, look.
You're so close to the car, it defaulted to your profile.
I'm sorry.
But that's okay.
Yeah, and then watch the rear wheels.
It did this yesterday. It did two.
Yeah, it actually did it. I think it actually did a little bit better today, because it kind of got itself in a little bit trouble. Not trouble, but it got. I thought it chose the wrong direction, but as you can see, it just goes right out the driveway. I mean, that's that's pretty cool. And here she comes back. It hasn't got the parking, you know. Oh, she drove back. Okay.
You know, it is letting me engage on the driveway, starting FSD back now.
Right. There's.
Marty was on the hill.
Oops.
And the truck seemed to see him, but I just wasn't taking any chances.
Right.
And I realize I'm not plugging in again right now, but we'll just leave it.
That's good enough right there. That way the UPS person can come up and squeeze there and then back over into that corner. That's what they normally do. They put their front end right here.
I love this.
And then they back the back end over there, and then they go out the driveway.
Yeah, I'm going to let it do its thing again when I really leave.
Way cool.
I think the bluebirds built enough nest yesterday in the box that I might see an egg today. I think it's possible. I'm really hoping. It's beautiful out here. It's going to be 85. Yeah, I know it's partly cloudy, but that's all right. I don't need stinking hot sun in what is still March. So I will take the partly cloudy just fine. I won't blind anybody in the Cybertruck today. Ha ha. Well, I'm certainly glad you got off your call long enough to see me out. Dawn remembered my shopping bags and put them in the frunk.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't get us money anymore, so it's not as critical, but the girls would be disappointed if I didn't show up with my pretty bags. They would be like, "What, you mean we need to use paper today?"
Yeah.
So for the girls, you did it for all the girls. Yep.
That's right.
All right. I'll try not to get into too much trouble today.
That case, I think they'll take good care of it.
Okay. Surviving opening and closing the door, but help a girl out and shut it for me since you're out here.
I will. And I wish all the doors, like on the wide, these pop.
Yeah.
I wish the wide doors you could do.
It is helpful. It does definitely help. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Have
Thank
fun.
you. I do have Apex Family Chiropractic plugged in, and I've got my seatbelt on. I was so excited filming the video earlier that I hadn't hadn't put my seatbelt on. And that was partly because, why is it putting me in Dawn's? Okay, well, obviously, one of my keys has Dawn's profile instead of mine. So I'm going to have to figure that out. It's just the profile assigned to the key. It's not that he was too close earlier. It's that one of them is set up wrong. So I will go back in there. And if it says it's Mary Ann's key card, phone, whatever, I'll fix it. I mean, obviously, I guess the other day we wouldn't have noticed because we were both in the car at the same time and what profile it was in or whatever. But now that I'm in the car by myself, and that's twice it's done it. So it's either my... Yeah, I don't know. I have a key fob for Ruby and a key fob for Robot, the X and the Y, but I don't have a key fob for the Cybertruck and probably will not get one. But my phone is always running out of charge, so I definitely have a card with me that will get me in the car also, lest I have to go call Dawn. I'm excited about being out in the Cybertruck today. Let's see. My arrival time at my chiropractor appointment's 11:55, so I should get there on time. I tried to leave at 20 after, but you see, I left at 25 after, so I don't have quite the cushion. I keep on trying to leave myself. Well, let's go have some shopping day fun. The Cybertruck is telling me to go right instead of left. Case is looking out for me. I bet there's traffic on the back road, and I sure don't have time to deal with that. So it's taken me, there's two ways to go, main ways to go, and it's, I guess, rerouting me around traffic, which I need because I wasn't paying attention to it. So thank God the navigation is looking out for me. So I saw I named Case. I didn't do it all uppercase letters on delivery day, and I do plan to go back in there and fix that when I'm not driving. So I'm going to make a couple of housekeeping comments here because we might have a few new viewers since they saw, that we had a Cybertruck, and YouTube may have sent our video their way. This is a family channel. We talk about Tesla all the time, life with the Tesla, but we've got other stuff here too. Cats, Dawn's projects, Mary Ann's Lego, yard improvements and stuff that we do, and general sightseeing in North Carolina, mostly around the Raleigh area. We live in Fuquay-Varina. So it's a mix of things. If that appeals to you, awesome. Hang out with us. We'd love to have some more viewers. And if not, we understand, and no harm, no foul. We've been around since 2017 when we bought Ruby the Model X. We had a 3 for a while that Tesla brought back. And then we had a 2020 Model YP and now a 26 Juniper, not performance. And she's going too slow over here, so I'm trying to tell her to speed up. It should be either 35 or 45 here, and she thinks the speed limit's 25 till she sees the next speed limit sign. Now she's up to 41, so, but here's the 45 sign. So we had a 2020 Model YP, a 2026 Juniper. Now we traded in the 2020 Model YP, and now the Cybertruck. We are keeping, or have kept, the Model X, the 2017 Model X, and the 2026 Juniper also. Don and I had big discussions. You could go back and look for the video of why not upgrade the X with the X stopping production, and that's mostly an emotional decision on my part, a real desire to get the Cybertruck on my part, and a little bit too of let's see this hardware 2 car that's now hardware 3 capable through whatever is or isn't going to happen with FSD. Yeah, let's, whichever way he's not going, Case, take me around. I don't know. So I think that gives you a little bit of a background about our Tesla history and what kind of content we have over here, just in case anybody new is watching. And then we try to avoid political discussion over here. We certainly are not looking for it or trying to every single day commenting on stuff. We don't need that. But it's probably not too hard to tell what our political stance might be, and it has evolved some over time. And also, we are very positive on Elon and Tesla. So, that's pretty odd. If I wasn't positive, I doubt I'd be making videos about Tesla, right? So we'll just put that out there. And then the other thing is a welcome discourse on the channel, polite conversation, differences of opinion and that kind of stuff. But I don't have any time for, stuff that makes me feel uncomfortable or makes other viewers looking at the comments feel uncomfortable. So if you leave that crap, I'll just blow it away. I respect the discourse back and forth, but I don't, if it's going to stress me out and it's nasty, I'm getting rid of it. Don't even just expect it to get blown away. And there's at least a couple other people out there helping me out, and if I don't see it, they'll see it and blow it away too. Well, now that we've got that out of the way, which again, I just felt might be important because we could have some new people. I am pretty much loving everything about the Cybertruck. I had a post on X yesterday where I said that basically FSD feels better in the Cybertruck than it does in our 2026Y. And the reason, and I said it was because of steer-by-wire, and it's not because steer-by-wire is really making FSD better. It's a human perception that when you're going around corners that are tight corners, the truck's going to really stay in its lane. There's no drifting an inch or two too uncomfortable toward the other lane like there might be, especially in Ruby, my hardware 3 poor turning radius car, my Model X. The perception is so good that the truck's going to stay in its lane that you just have a lot less worry. So it does not feel like you are driving a super large vehicle. It just doesn't. Between driving the Model X and the Model Y, it really just doesn't feel that different. It's the first time I've noticed what the Cybertruck looks like on the screen. Definitely can see the details of the tonneau cover and stuff there. That's pretty cool. I have my mirrors adjusted right now, so I can see what's behind me pretty good on both sides, because I wasn't liking that the rear camera view, which is up all the time on the truck when the tonneau cover is closed, was covered up with the what's on my left or what's on my right based on the turn signal. When the turn signal comes on, either you put it on or FSD puts it on, all of the newer cars get a pop-up that shows what's in the direction that you're turning. And I want to be able to see in that direction, and I still want to be able to see behind me. And I guess the decision was made that was going to take up too much of the screen, so they put the turn picture over the rear picture. And that was a little uncomfortable, but now that I've got the mirrors adjusted properly and I can see what's behind me better, I'm not as concerned about it anymore. So, I have methods for storing stuff in the Model Y. When Don takes me shopping, we've got a cargo net across the back, and he'll pop the trunk as I approach the curb at the grocery store, and I'll put the items in the net from our local Harris Teeter, which is basically a Fred Meyer. And that works well. In Ruby, sometimes I put the stuff in the back and sometimes I put it in the middle row. I have a 6-seater Model X, and I've got vents in the middle row and the third row. I've got lots of vents and air conditioning vents in the summer in that car. So that works out well. You know, here in the summer, sometimes it's going to be 95 degrees out when I'm coming home with groceries from Cary. So about a 30-minute drive when I'm at Whole Foods. And you have to take into consideration that I need the groceries inside the air-conditioned part of the car, and that I've left the climate keep while I'm in the store. I'm just saying today it doesn't matter so much, although we are going to be at 85, I think. You know, do I want to leave the groceries in? Is the front going to be cool enough? Do I need to put them behind me here? Do I want to put, you know, where are they not going to slide around, and where are they going to stay the temperature I want them to stay? So right now, Dawn, I said put the grocery bags in the back or by the net, and Dawn said, well, are you sure you don't want to use the frunk? And I said, okay, use the frunk, because I'll walk up and my phone will just auto open the frunk, and that'll be great. It seems to work faster on the Cybertruck than it does on the Model Y. More consistently and faster. I don't know, it just seems to be working better for me than it is with Robot. So I don't know, I think today I'll put the groceries in the frunk, but that's not going to work probably really well in the summertime. You know, there'll be 8-9 months out of the year the frunk would work great for groceries, and the other times I'll want to put them in the back. Now, to be clear, you know, I'm going to be doing a lot more Cybertruck driving this week, taking it through all its paces everywhere we go, but I have no intention of only taking the truck and parking Ruby. So I'll be back in my Model X. You know, certainly don't want Ruby just sitting there and not driving her. So, note to Dawn, we need to register the Cybertruck for the toll road, because I'm fixing to get on the turnpike up here and I don't have a transponder in the car. Which, I don't know how they handle temporary tags that they may or may not actually be able to read back there. Holly Springs Hopper is using an ID Buzz as one of their transport vehicles. But we will need to handle the turnpike. Getting onto the turnpike here. I'm just watching what FSD is doing. So already the truck thinks it's 70. And that's just a relief that at least with Robot and Case, getting onto the turnpike is pretty smooth, and I can trust that we're going to pick up speed. With Ruby, I basically have to put my foot on the accelerator and do a little jig to get her to get up to speed before the speed limit sign down here. But the hardware for cars just seem to know, and I'm speculating that might be a difference in navigation level, and I keep on meaning to confirm, but I haven't done that yet. Huh. Little dip to the right there. I don't think it's very windy. I'm in standard mode. I guess I have a little bit of a question for Tesla AI. Why does it sometimes change the speed profile without my input? So back there on Highway 55, right before we got on the turnpike, all of a sudden I was in hurry. And I don't know why. I had been in standard. I realized I got onto a different quote-unquote caliber type of road. Like I went from a backcountry road to a 2-lane divided highway. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but like the auto, what it chose or whatever. But anyway, I moved it back down to standard, and I'm still in standard, which is currently working fine. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with standard in most cases, except for Main Street Fuquay. So I think I read that we have at 100% 325 rated miles and the truck's currently at 58%, which is more than enough for the, I don't know how many miles I go on Tuesday, something under 50. But I may, so we'll see how the day is going, I may stop by the Supercharger that's by Whole Foods and just plug in and charge for the first time in the truck. I have no concerns about that working smoothly, but I'd rather try it one time when I don't need it than wait until I need it and there be an issue. So we'll just get, probably just check that off the list today. I'm also by the Cary Supercharger. There's two. I'm also by the Cary Supercharger when I'm here on the turnpike, but I'm getting off a little sooner than the Supercharger. So, and it's not convenient based on the time of my appointment. I'd have to backtrack, and it's just not convenient. I like it that, you know, there's a rear screen and the Y and the, well, I guess all the cars now. But I really miss in my not having the two cup holders that are where the screen now is, that are in my 6-seater Model X, the ones that are behind the console. Now, I know a lot of people were probably frustrated with them because they have this little spring pop out soft close feature, and I'm betting, and people with little kids probably broke that off. But you know, I know you can use the door pockets now, but all I'm trying to say is my X has more cup holders, I think, than any other Tesla in the fleet. And I love where they are, and I miss them when I don't have them. And if I had my druthers, I was just getting into good company here in the short little hop from the turnpike to back over to Highway 55 here on 64. The truck case is staying in this lane because I'm fixing to get right back off. There would be no reason to go around. So I can see that the car knows that we're headed to a parking lot. But I have a history of taking over in parking lots and parking far away from everyone. And I'm going to want to do that here too. So we have a big, long, telescoping thing to help clean the Cybertruck window on the inside. And Don and I we lost it. We were not able to find it last night. So I ordered another one thinking that hopefully between now and Wednesday, when it arrives and I want to use it, that the other one pops up and I can just return it. I'm not much of a returner, but I will if that's the right thing to do. And just to let you know that I would have tried to do a little bit more cleaning with the windshield, but I sure can't reach down there, and we couldn't find our tool. I think the first thing you need to purchase for the Cybertruck before you purchase anything else is probably a telescoping arm with a pad on it for cleaning, you know, for wiping down the inside windshield. All that's really is it's, you know, off-gassing from the factory. There's crap on the, you know, there's like a film on the inside of the windshield. And I would say to this day, Ruby still puts that film on the inside of the windshield quite frequently. I still have to wipe that off. So I think whatever Don did last night, it's better. It's better than it was. So I'm noticing it's cleaner today. But I look forward to being able, when I'm parked somewhere and the sun's just right on the windshield, being able to finesse the wipe down of the windshield. So it's 10:53. I am not late, and this light's always a pain. I'd be lucky to get through. If people do U-turns instead of turning in, which is frequent, they're often pretty slow about it, and I may not get through the light. We'll just have to see what FSD does and what the car's in front of me there. It's green. There's also people tend to sleep at this light. Yeah. You know, the lead car is not paying attention worth the flip, and yeah, well, she stopped, and I thought I saw a flashing light on the other side of the road, but if I did, it didn't come. But first off, that light could be a little longer. Another 30 seconds would make a big difference for the people waiting in this left turn. And then the other thing is people don't pay attention. They don't have FSD to pay attention for them, and a lot of U-turns, really slow U-turns. So I don't know, me, when the light turns green, I want to get through the light and get out of the way, because I care about the person behind me getting through. But not everyone cares about their fellow drivers on the road. So the walkaway lock sound is on, and I think it might be set to goat. I'm probably gonna change it. I did see Kay say that he was lowering the ride height for entry and exit when I was getting ready to get out. I am still, it was better, but I am still having to slide out of the truck a little bit. For reference, I'm 5'7", so I'm not short and I'm not tall. I'm just kind of average girl height. And it's not uncomfortable, the sliding down, but it could be some wear and tear on the driver's seat. What is that bright, shiny thing down there at the end of the walkway? Oh, that's right, it's the Cybertruck. The sun is hitting it just right. I am going to head to Lowe's across the street. I think I can get one more receipt and scan it, and I'll get the full amount of cash back this month. So that's cool. I kind of like stopping in to look at the plants, especially this time of year. It's a pretty day. Not too hot, not too cold. I did put Climate Keep on, but I bumped it up to 80. So the truck case should be comfortable. I guess I didn't realize how much I was going to call it the truck, like we always called my van the van. But we never called Ruby the X. I don't know. But Lowe's is the next stop. Do like that popping open that far is very helpful. If you cannot, and the pushing on the outside. All right, I put in all the places I'm going. I might add something, but not too much. So I already put my foot on the brake and entered the pin and did the navigation stuff, but I'm not having to do anything except start self-driving, and I'm taking off, so I'm not having to have my foot on the brake or do anything. Maybe this is more, I'm still getting used to this in the Y and the Cybertruck, because Ruby doesn't have, Hardware 3 car doesn't have a start from self-driving option. But maybe this is more for when you're driving yourself. I wouldn't know, because I haven't done that with the truck with Case too much. And I did go in and make the name uppercase, and I'm seriously going to start calling Case by his name and not, oh, she decided to go this way. Well, I've had Ruby's done this before too. And it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that it's not a necessary thing. He could have turned left there and gotten out of the parking lot just as well. So, but, sometimes you just gotta let the FSD vehicles, do things their way instead of thinking they need to do things your way. I mean, I'm not going to say that it was necessarily faster to turn left up there versus turn right and go around the building. It's, a extremely short amount shorter. Not by any stretch a large amount shorter. So how is the Cybertruck going to handle this up here? Is it going to let the Honda Odyssey on the left come over in front? It certainly did not block the intersection, so that was appropriate. And there's a do not block the intersection sign. I don't know, sometimes you gotta get up there if you want to get through in any reasonable amount of time here. This is not this road where you turn into Goodwill on the left and these other businesses on the right is really a little too close to the street here, Highway 55, and it makes getting in and out from the sides not so great. So the Honda's coming out, and by the way, I think the Honda should come out. They were waiting there longer than me, and they were also doing the right thing and not blocking the intersection. And Lowe's is straight across here, and that was handled well. The truck trying to figure out which lane it should stay in. It is a little confusing there. We've talked about before. I was going to take over there because I forgot that if I don't tell it, it doesn't know that I want to go to the garden center. And so this is actually farther for me. The other day when I did this, we never actually turned into Lowe's here. We ended up going down farther in the Y and turning in front of the Target, which was really annoying. So I'm going to take over here and park where I want to park near the garden center. I will jump up and down and be giddy with joy when we finally have parking profiles and I can tell it. I'm sure I could drop a pin for the garden center, but I don't want to. I need to use Grok more in the car. I just want to be able to say, take me to the garden center. Maybe that address is in there and I should look for that too. I'm always willing to try, nuanced and enhanced. I was going to pull up here beside this car, but I can't do that now. It's so busy over here. I'll just wait for this guy to pull forward and then park. I am patient. I got 2 clearance columbine plants. I think one is an orange tone and one is a pink tone. They were not quite half price. And there's plenty of healthy plant there to come back. They just must have got a little frostbite. All right, let's see how Case is gonna get me out of here. I don't have a strong preference. Turned away from the person loading up their vehicle and someone else taking a cart back, which is fine. Yeah, this is where you just really gotta appreciate the steering. And going to the right, which I like. I did leave climate on and I left it at 72. I figured the brand new heat pump could handle it. Well, the spaces closest to the store look really crowded, and there is a garbage truck or something over there. Hertz does not have all of these spaces 100% taken up today, so I think I'm going to park here. And I took over when I came in so that I would not head in front of the store where there weren't a lot of spaces. Hertz is always overusing this spot, this lot with their cars. All right, here's hoping for some bargains today. There are quite a few new mini flags to choose from, and I think I really like that one. It does not have watermelon on the other side. But I've got places where one-sided flags work okay. This one is brand new and that super smooth fabric. But from a distance, it just looks too much like one color. So I'm going to, whoops, I'll pick that up in a second, put it back. This one is also a one-sided flag, but I think I really like it. These are $3. And initially I was going to get this one. But, I don't really like it. I'm gonna put it back. I like this one, but it's pretty faded. So no. And there's, there's a few others here, but I just haven't decided. I can't live without them. It's an Annalee, and I don't have it. And it has $1.99 on it. So it's coming home. If this would hold up outside, I'd get it. But it's cardboard. Boo-hoo. Very cute cookie jar, but couldn't find a place for him just for Christmas time. The dolls are all on sale today, like 50% off the porcelain. The dolls. They're trying to move them. Well, I came out with quite a few things today. I took a picture, so I will pop that up here so you can see. There was some rose dried flowers with a light for Michelle, and a couple of shopping bags with spring butterfly kind of stuff on it. And out of the picture there were a couple of sheets for frost protection, because I'm going to need more than I have. You know, we're at capacity and I'm adding more maples when we go to Mr. Maple, so I'm going to need more sheets for next year. And, you know, covering the little things is really not the problem. It's all the big stuff. Wow, there was a Tesla going out and a Tesla coming in. And I do see the Polestar on my right. And I found an Anna Lee. And, you know, just some cute little stuff, cute little Easter bag. That would be good for my snack at Whole Foods. So I had a few things on the counter today. So for now, the Guardian Angel purchase is just on the seat. I didn't have anything big today. So the Supercharger on Tryon Road in Cary is 5.2 miles away. Let's see, how is the truck gonna go? Because I have definite opinions about how we should get out of here. And well, that would be okay, but that's not what the truck did last time. Let's sort of do that, I guess. It says it's 12 minutes either way. It may not go where I want it to go, so it's possible I will take over. I will try to be patient and let it do its thing. It hit the grate there in the middle of the road. You know, something us human drivers would have done to miss that. And it probably could have went, and now I'm gonna have to wait longer, but that's okay. It's okay. It wasn't anything unsafe. You gonna really go, truck? Good. Well, that car was turning anyway. Well, when I go to leave over there in the near future, I'll just be driving the first mile and then kicking in FSD because of the way the car tries to go instead of the way I want to go and think is better. You know, I'll eventually test it again, but not here in the short term, because I've, you know, basically done that in all 3 cars now. Beautiful day. We are up to 79 degrees. Now, why do you want to turn me here? Well, I'm just going to let it go, even though I think this isn't the right way. Okay, thank you for figuring out you were in the wrong lane. I could have told you you were in the wrong lane. Last week, I didn't wait to see in the why. I didn't wait to see why we got in the wrong lane. I just took control and got myself in the right lane. Today, it's like, well, if you're just determined to go down Auto Park, you know, row over there and see the new cars, okay, I'll go that way. Because that basically, that road takes you in back behind all the dealerships over here in Cary. Now, remember, I'm going to the Supercharger and then Whole Foods, so 64 here is basically going to turn into Tryon Road and take me up to where the Charger is. And then I'll circle back to Whole Foods. Well, Case decided to put me onto US 1 for one exit, and that's fine. I mean, I don't really care. You don't really need to have your turn signal on yet, car, but okay. I mean, we are getting off right here, but Normally you would be being in the left lane, coming there would be good, so you get in a straight lane and keep going. But in this case, I guess because I want to get off at Cary Parkway. Cary Parkway is one street at the intersection of the shopping center where the Supercharger is, and Tryon Road is the other. I'm just going to assume that coming this way is going to bring me in on the side of the shopping center where it's easier to get in and it's closer to where the Supercharger is. This is a Lowe's Foods Supercharger location. It's also one where not too long after they opened it, somebody had a little trouble in the parking lot and plowed into one or more of the chargers, and it waited a long time to open for final permitting or whatever the utility company had to do, and then okay, go case. And then once it was opened, it was partially closed while they did the repairs. Which was a shame. I do notice with the long window here in the front of the Cybertruck that in certain turning radiuses, the Osmo camera is having a little trouble, I think, being lined up where I would like for it to be and what I wanted to show, but not a super big deal. But I feel like I fidgeted with the camera a little bit more as far as how high up or down or left or right to do for. Well, we'll be waiting a bit because there's quite a few cars coming. I guess it's telling me 15-minute charging. That must be to get to the 80% from 51%. I don't know. We're just going to charge for a minute and go. Proof of concept. Get our first charger under our belt in the Cybertruck. Trying to remember about Robot, but I know Michelle and I hopped in the car and went to Warsaw. Anyone that's from North Carolina for a while knows. Okay, car. Well, that's not expected, but okay. I would have gone right and left, and she's going left and right. And now we'll wait for a pedestrian, and we'll make a much tighter turn to go into the Supercharger than we would have if we had gone the other way. But okay. It's easy to backseat drive, right? Well, this charger's really busy today. And I guess there is another Cybertruck here. I guess, well, this isn't going to work, car. I don't know how you think that's going to work. Because that's not going to work. I'm going to have to move. I'm in a pull-in, but it's on the wrong side. And that person's charging with it anyway. I'm in the wrong spot. I'm going to have to park myself. God bless America. Easy peasy. And I did back in myself. I want you to know pretty much perfectly. Although the guy in the Model Y next to me, he came out really quick, like he was trying to beat me out or scared of me or something. I don't know. So I stopped and let him get in his unplug and get in his car. I don't think the truck could have parked any better than that, just saying. Yes, of course I have enough energy to continue my trip. Supercharging tips if I wanted or needed them. I'm getting 148 kilowatts. So pretty darn fast, all things considered, that I'm at 53% charge. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm not going to stay plugged in long. Dawn's going to faint when I show the screen. It's currently 44 cents a kilowatt hour here. So, yep. It's very busy. This is really, it's really an urban supercharger. This is a neighborhood thing. This is not super convenient to travel or anything. So, I'm up to a whole whopping $1.65, $1.72, $1.76. You can watch it go up. All right, Donnie, I'll go unplug now that I've charged. Here, stop charging. All right, on to Whole Foods. The chargers have stayed very busy. Although, God, I mean, unless you had to charge, would you not, surely there's a discount rate off peak other times of the day kind of a thing. Would you not come then instead? I mean, you know, we're paying roughly 8 cents a kilowatt hour overnight at home, or whatever the discount rate is. It's soon to be slightly different for us because Don signed up for the R-TOU-EV rate, whereas right now we're just R-TOU, time of use. But excuse me, like what part of you were supposed to stop there did you not get? I never touched the wheel. The case handled it. FSD handled it. I hope they worried for a minute there. I don't get it. And they did that maneuver just to come out here and wait at Tryon Road, so I don't know. Alright, going into Waverly Place from the side. Different entrance than the normal entrance. It will be interesting to see here. It knows I'm coming up to a parking lot where would be the best place to park, because, you know, this is a pretty tight and busy parking lot. And I would have gone straight here and come up this way versus going to the right and coming around in the front. Of course, these are comments on FSD and navigation and not on the Cybertruck specifically. There is parking on the backside here, but no entrance to Whole Foods except for store employees. I guess unless you walk around to the front. Which wouldn't be a big deal walking in with nothing, but wouldn't be so great coming out with groceries. And I'm good with coming in here. Nice slow down, nice and careful for the customers. And I'm just gonna take over. And park where I want to park. I can park where I want to park if I want to. Park where I want to. Parking in this thing is so easy. It's amazing. The steering is amazing. The screen size is amazing. The whole, you're fine. The whole thing is amazing. I mean, I parked and look how, I mean, the lines that lead you where you're going and the ability to sharp turn to get you lined up perfectly with the space and everything is just fantastic. It's just lowered itself because, you know, it just lowered the ride height. Yay! Nice Model X. Okay, so it's officially getting warm out here now. I did leave climate on. So there's a Glacier Blue S. You gotta love the faces on the headrest. Can you see them? They're the aha! Pretty cute. But there's the Model S. Nice. Well, I don't know if there's enough space in the front for all my groceries or not. Got a lot of groceries today. Let's see. As I have those plants in the back, that wouldn't be a great option. All right, car. Yeah, I like it. Works better in the Cybertruck. I don't know why. So the short answer is no. All of my groceries won't fit. Those bags are just Gonna crinkle down, and I think it'll be fine though, from that perspective. Yeah, they just crinkled and it shut. There was no food up high. But I've got glass bottles and cream and the bags, and there's more glass over here. So I've got two bags of glass bottles and my extra bags. They weren't gonna fit. Thankfully, I remembered I wasn't in Ruby or Jules, and I got salt and a spoon and some napkins. This is my coffee flavored yogurt that I often treat myself to on Tuesdays. And here's where the glass is. It's fine. It's not going to move around down there. I like it. So I can't tell you 100% for sure why, but the supercharger that I stopped at, along with in Durham at the Renaissance Center, they're both 44 cents right now, and they are the most expensive supercharger showing up in my list. Morrisville by the airport, North Hills is 42, Morrisville is 41, the other Cary is 41. Remember, the one I was at was 44. But all these ones anywhere outside of Wake County, Sanford is 40, Smithfield 37, Mebane 37, Siler City 37, Wilson 37, Henderson 37, Burlington 38, Fayetteville 39. So many of the others around the state are much less than the one I just happened to stop at. I just didn't want you to think they were all up to 44 cents a kilowatt hour. It's just that crazy one in Cary. For some reason, you know, I put in all those destinations this morning, but I didn't have home in, and no big deal because I didn't need any additional charge to get where I was going today. I've had my stack. Oh wow, another Model X just came in to the parking lot. It's the darker gray color, stealth gray, but it had black trim this time instead of chrome. Anyway, let's go home. I'm getting tired at this point. I don't think I'm going to make any other stops along the way. Yeah, this Model X is still here, but another one just went past. I didn't see another Cybertruck in the parking lot today, which of course doesn't mean that there isn't one, but well, it moved out of the... Oh, it's trying to take me home the other way. Let's fix that. There's nobody behind me because I realize I'm technically in the wrong lane. Yeah. We'll let you take over in a minute. I could have, I'm sure, picked the alternate route if I had remembered that the truck likes to default to go in US 1 and I don't want to go US 1. Case says I'll be home at 3:22. It's 14 miles, but 30 minutes to the house. Which is right. If anybody asks me, there's a white Model X, asked me how long it'd take to get to Whole Foods from my house, I would say 30 minutes. Okay, I just made the, let's just say it's at least 110 degrees, maybe 120 degree turn here onto Bass Lake Road off of Sunset Lake Road. And I felt the truck do that thing you do when you need to do a wide turn, and it went just a little left up, just a smidge, and then it cranked and it was perfect. And I had a little trouble with the camera, so I didn't get that filmed, but I did save the dash cam clip. And yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't expect the truck to have any trouble, but that turn is tight and it makes me nervous pretty much every time I come through it, and it doesn't matter what car I'm in. Once the cars were doing it on FSD and I know that they successfully maneuvered at each one, then I've calmed down a little bit about it. But that turns hard for people, let alone FSD. Guess that's easier for FSD. I got the mail, and Case is letting me start self-driving to continue on down the driveway. I am super appreciative of that. I don't know if it's been doing that for Dawn or not. The Emperor One tree there. Really pretty. If I were driving, I would have gone past it just a tad slower, so you could have appreciated it longer. I didn't have anybody pay any attention to me today, good or bad. FYI. Where does it think it's going to put me in the parking space? It was going to park me in the spot over there. It was. Wow. Okay. I totally believe the truck could have... Nothing wrong, just didn't want to park in the carport because I've got groceries. All right, let's get these groceries out of here. But you know what? I think I might want to be in front of it just in case something tries to fall out onto the ground. Although most of the glass is in the car. But I think it would be better if I was just there. So the door popping open and the push button on the outside is a much better experience than dealing with the Model Y handles when your hands are full. It's not as good as the Model X, but it's better, I think, than the Model Y. Okay, come on. Open the front. I'm right here. My phone's right here. It's right here. Why aren't you opening this time? Is it because I left the door open over there? It's because I don't have my phone. I have the battery, which is the same color as my phone case. That's pretty funny. Blooper reel. Blooper reel. All right. Now open. Yeah, I haven't had any false starts. This thing is solid. When it opens, it opens. Don, the silly boy, first words out of his mouth were, after he said hi, was,
"Did you have fun?"
And I'm like, silly boy, of course I had fun. And I'm sure I had more fun than you, sitting at home working and studying up on how to write some assembler exit.
Yeah, got another exit.
Yeah, so I'm sorry about that. But I told him about my pulling into the back-end charger experience, and then how easy the truck is to park yourself, even at the Supercharger. So, yeah, I mean, seriously, the van, which doesn't have a backup camera, but seriously, even the van with the GMC, I mean, it's easier to park. Just easier to park. Yeah, Don has a little something over there to make sure that the door doesn't come down too hard on the charging cable.
Sitting on a screwdriver.
You have a fancy tool over there, a screwdriver, okay. Well, I came out in the kitchen this morning, and the first thing I noticed was that I did not take down the St. Patrick's Day window clings and put up Easter ones. So before I do anything else, that's happening next. I've got plenty to choose from. Whichever ones, I'm not in the mood to be hassled with letters. So whichever ones, see, there's a lot to choose from. Whichever ones will go on with the easiest. I mean, I might do a few letters, but letters kind of annoy me. They're harder to get right. This is good. This is good form. Let's have cursive and one piece. That's good. I'm going to work on the Lego Easter wreath for a bit. You might remember on the last trip to UNCC that I did the skeleton of the wreath, this part, the rabbit, the bow, and the Easter eggs, and a few flower things. So I don't know if I'm going to get it done tonight. I'm going to guess probably not, but because it's already 7:30. But let's do bag 2 and see if I can't knock out bag 3 and go from there. So bag 3 did 2 squares, and these brown pieces here, kind of like a bar with a little bump in the middle of it. That's going to be what some of these other things connect with, I believe. If I just had to guess. All right. I did bags 2 and 3. I'll do 4 and 5 tomorrow and finish it up.
A year. I'm down here changing the UV light in our whole home UV lamp. It's in the air return of our HVAC system. We put it in 2020 during COVID. I've changed it every year. It's kind of tricky. It's easy to come out, but the bulb is really tight and you have to push it in there really harder than you ever thought. And the other key thing is you have to have it unplugged when you put the bulb in there. Because if it's plugged in when you put the bulb in there, the light will not come on. This little glow here won't come on. So it must have some kind of interlock in there. I don't know, but basically once I got the bulb fully seated in the socket and I unplugged and replugged the power, the light came right on, no problem. Get to check one off the list.
Hi, nighttime. Nighttime. Hi. Don has a bacon wrapped pork chop and a couple of fried eggs with cheese for dinner tonight.
Oh boy, that sounds yummy.
There you are.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
Yep.